Okay. Good morning, everyone, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for taking your time to attend our webinar, Business Continuity Plan, presented by Reveres Academy and the Cambodia Chamber of Commerce. Reveres Management is a HR consultancy company with 33 years of experience in the HR scenario and also in trainings and consultancies. We have set up a subsidiary in Phnom Penh in 2019, and we would like to thank the support from Cambodia Chamber of Commerce, especially to Mr. Nemo from the Deputy Director of Cambodia Chamber of Commerce. In this time of adversity, we need to be resilient to our business. And many a times we will ask ourselves, what can we do? Business continuity is important to ensure the survival of company, and we should be prepared for it, as we can see from the impact of the COVID-19. So we have to think that we are safe from all disaster, and that is what we always think, that no disaster will hit us. However, COVID-19 has told us that everyone is equally vulnerable when it comes to pandemic. So you may say that you have already experienced it, but now what can you do about it? So in fact, we are unsure that what lies ahead of us. However, we can be prepared by having business continuity plan in case we are met with a second wave, or in case that other disaster might happen. So business continuity plan helps you prepare yourself for such incident that might occur when you least expected. So today we are glad to invite Mr. Ivan Low to speak to us on how we can get ourselves prepared for any disaster. Okay, Mr. Ivan Low is a consultant for ISO Quality Management System and also Business Continuity Management System. So he has been in the business for more than 20 years, helping companies attain ISO standard for QMS and BCMS. So Mr. Ivan Low also have the qualification and also the experience in helping companies to be BCM certified. So without further delay, let me invite Mr. Ivan to speak to us on business continuity plan. So if you have any question, please feel free to write it in the Q&A, and we will try to answer your query as much as possible. So thank you very much for your attention. So Mr. Ivan Low, yes.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Nai. All right, so, okay, it's very nice to be here, to be with every one of you in Cambodia right now. Okay, let me begin my presentation. Okay, are you seeing the screen? Okay, all right, so this is a BCM or Business Continuity Management System. What we are going through today is actually a brief outline of this Business Continuity Management. So, or in short, we call it BCM. And whatever that we are going to discuss will be based on this ISO 22301 2019 version. All right. So basically, what is business continuity? Because when we talk about business continuity, many people say, okay, we need to run, continue to run our business, and that's it. But is it just that? We will have to look at it in more detail. So this is for today's session. We are going to have a very brief overview of what is business continuity, so that have a better understanding, and then to decide what to do, to how to proceed, or what's the approach to do it. Okay, first we look at a business. Okay, so business, when you are running a business, all right, you are actually selling your products and services to your customer. All right, so your customer in turn will pay you the money, and this goes on and on. Now the customer is actually paying you a lot of money in order to get the products and services. Okay, so that they in turn can sell their products and services to their own customer. Now, if you are unable to provide products and services, your customer will get very upset, and they will turn to other customers. So, we look at how this product and services are being sold. Okay, so for any company, all right, when you have your products and services, you depend on three main things. Depend on the people, and it depend on products. This product meaning the raw material or whatever that you buy to be resold to your customer. All right, and then uh, you have your infrastructure. All right, okay. So for people, of course, what we mean it will be by the employees, and then you have your contractors, all right, providing all those value-added services to your products, and you have got your suppliers. And for products, all right, you will have your principal, okay, or also your suppliers, all right. And for infrastructure, you have your buildings, you have your information system, and you have your machine that produce your products. All right. So all this all together, all right, all together, they will combine together to deliver all these products and services to your customer. All right. But nothing is perfect. It would be nice that we are living in the perfect world, but this cannot happen. Nothing is perfect. Uh, in certain situation, key employee may resign. They tell you, okay, it's enough for me. I'm going to go. All right, and it will be the very disruptive if, let's say, he's a key employee or holding certain skill sets that is critical to your business. All right, or some of the contractors may close down. All right, today they are operating, and tomorrow the door is shut. All right, or your principal, if you are a distributor of certain product, your principal said that, okay, goodbye, am going to end my relationship with you. I'm going to appoint another distributor. All right, so things happen. And what happens if your building goes on fire? May not be the whole building, maybe your neighbor, but it is bad enough to affect your business. Okay, and a common thing is that, hey, computer breakdown. All right, very sorry, my computer breakdown. I cannot continue my service. I have got to stop my business for a certain number of days for me to recover my computer. And worst thing is that when you recover, all your informations are lost. Okay, and then machine failure. All right, machine failure. Your critical production machine, maybe you have one and only machine, and that machine failed, and you cannot deliver your products and services. All right. So what's the end result? The end result is that your customer will be very, very unhappy. All right, because they have actually committed to their own customer based on your supply. And if you are unable to supply, that means your customer will also be unable to deliver products to their customers. So of course, when the customer is unhappy, they will think about changing supplier. They would say that, okay, goodbye, I'm not going to deal with you. You're unreliable. All right. And that will mean that will have a declining market share. And your important thing is that your reputation in the market. All right. People will not treat you as a reliable supplier. When people deal with you, they will always have the fear that you cannot continue your business, you cannot continue your supply. All right, and that would mean that your business volume will drop, and eventually you run into losses. All right, because your customers are basically is running away to other suppliers. Okay, so these things happen, all right? The unforeseeable things happen. And it's a fact. And in fact, right now, like COVID-19, all right, no one expect it to last so long and have such a great impact to our business. So what we want to do is to stop this, want to avoid all these disruptions. And yeah, business must continue, all right? So like at the present moment, a lot of people are working at home, and some, and I can tell you, many of them are forced to, because this is a worldwide pandemic, and even they are not prepared, they are forced to work at home. So many of them, many of the businesses are being caught and forced into, having alternative. All right. So when we talk about business continuity, we can broadly divide it into two major group of actions that we can do. The first one is actually preventive. All right. So we want to prevent things from happening. And in fact, this is the most important. All right. And we do it through what we call a risk assessment. All right. So risk assessment is a essential part of this business continuity. So first, during peacetime, when there's nothing happening, we have to sit down and we have to identify issues or threats that may affect the operation of the company. All right. Example. All right. Fire. Okay. Or IT failure, and many other threats. All right. So today, maybe here, it's just only two of the common threats that affect most companies. All right. So when we do a risk assessment, the risk assessment for different companies will have different threats or issues. But fire, IT failure, these are the common ones. All right. Some companies may have got employee resignation. Some companies may have got a material issue and all that. Okay. So for today, we talk about fire and IT failure. And for fire, we will have to think about how do we, all right, mitigate, how to prevent fire from happening. All right. So this is called a mitigation plan. We will have a fire protection system. Example, your extinguishers. All right. We put extinguishers in strategic location to prevent fire from happening. And that's not all. Having the fire extinguishers in place, we must also have a maintenance plan. Maintain all the fire extinguishers regularly to ensure that they are able to function. All right. And for IT, we need to have a data backup, right, to back up your data. And data backup, whether we do it every day, or we will do it every week, or we do it every month. And we will also have to think of a remote storage. That means an alternate location to store your backup tapes. These are example of the threats that can affect the company, and the mitigation plans that you can implement during peacetime. That means before any disaster happening. The key is to prevent a disaster from happening. All right. Okay. And the other part of this business continuity plan is actually reactive. Now, what if, despite all your preventive measures, you have fire extinguisher in place, you maintain them, you do your backup, and yet things still happen. Hey, fire broke out. Okay, it's still possible. All right, and then or even you have your data backup, your computer just failed. It is possible. So we must ask ourselves, if something really happens, what is the recovery strategy? Okay, recovery strategy will be like you have an alternate site. Okay, and then not only that, alternate site, where would it be, and what are the things, what are the processes that you want to recover? All right, and how much do you want to recover? You want to recover your entire business, or you just want to recover your critical business that affect your critical customers, or the few major customers. So when you want to recover, all right, you want to recover within a week, or you want to recover within a month. So this recovery plan, you have to think about all this, all right? If a disaster really happened, what is it? Okay, like right now, COVID-19, uh, the recovery strategy for most companies is to work at home. Okay, so that if that is the recovery strategy, then you will need to have a plan. How are you going to work at home? What kind of information can you retrieve from your home, and in what way you are going to deliver your products and services to your customer and all that. So you have to think about it, all right? And then what are the resources required? All right, you need people, you need equipment, you need network connection, you need many things. All right. So, and not only that, how to restore. That means when the disaster is over, all right, how do we restore? All right, like now, COVID-19. If let's say, okay, tomorrow, COVID-19 is over, the virus is dead, is no longer in existence. How do we restore our business? Yeah, we go back to office, but then certain things may not be the same as before anymore. Or when there's a fire happening in the company, all right, and you work at the alternate site, and when the factory is rebuilt, when you go back, uh, will it be the same? Maybe you will be at another new location. All right. So all this you have to think about it. So in a nutshell, business continuity have got the preventive portion, okay, preventive portion, and then you also have the reactive portion. All right, two main things. Okay. So now after having this in plan out, preventive and also reactive. Uh, what are you going to do? Is it the end of it? Okay, it is not the end. I give you an analogy. Let's say you want to slim down. All right, you have an exercise plan, you have a diet plan. All right, and you really slim down. Okay, from maybe 80 kg, you slim down to maybe 70 kg or even 60 kg. All right, but if you don't have a maintenance plan, you're going to go back to where you started. Okay, you're going to put back your weight on to maybe 80 kg again or even more. So a maintenance plan is actually very important. So for a business continuity management system, the maintenance rely on two main things. Okay, one is internal audit. All right, to conduct internal audit. Okay, so how this works is that, okay, we do a risk assessment. You identify all your threats. You talk about all your mitigation plans. You put them in place. All right. So you implement all your mitigation plans. But are your mitigation plans working? Are they being followed? Did the staff carry out what they're supposed to do? All right. So that's why you need to conduct internal audit, right? And to identify improvements. And based on the whatever improvement that I identify, you improve your risk assessment plan again and implement mitigation plans further, and it will just go on and on. Okay, so the key here is an internal audit to keep those mitigation plans or actions that you identify in your risk assessment ongoing. Then the next thing is this I said that is reactive. All right, reactive. Then you have your continuity plan. Just now we talked about fire. In case of fire, what you want to do. You said that, okay, one of the strategy is alternate site. So you must carry out a test or exercise whether the alternate site is okay or not okay. So like you need to do a mock-up. You need to get your staff. Okay, let's imagine that there's a fire happening. All right, so we're going to go to the alternate site. So you get the people to the alternate site, you set up all the computer, you set up the network at alternate site, and then you evaluate the results. All right. So maybe at the alternate site, you discover, hey, not enough PowerPoint. Or maybe at the alternate site, then you after the test, then you realize that network connection is no good enough, right? Or there isn't enough operating spaces, not enough, the space is not big enough to house all your staff. So and from there, you identify all the shortcomings, determine what improvement you need to make, and you amend your business continuity plan again with all the improvement, include all the improvement inside the plan. And then after that, you do your test and exercise again. All right, and it goes on and on. It's similar to how you do the internal audit for your risk assessment. So this is the second portion, the test and exercise. So in a nutshell, the maintenance of this BCM or BCP, you will need to conduct internal audit for the risk assessment and need to do test and exercise for all the tests, for all the BCP that you have determined. All right. So in short, a business continuity, what is it? It is just plan B. All right, it's plan B. What if something happened? Do I have a plan B? All right, this is what you have to answer. Okay, of course, this is a formal definition of business continuity. All right, advanced planning for and prepare for for the organization to operate. Capability to continue to operate is critical business. All right, so just a plan B. And for the full course of this business continuity management, we will go into more details, all right, of certain business continuity elements, all right, maximum period of tolerable disruption, what do we mean by minimum business continuity objectives, recovery time objective, recovery point objective, the differences between these two. And of course, we talk about risk assessment, BCP, test and service. These are the three keys. These are the three keys. And during the actual course, we will deal into the details of all this. And we have some examples, some workshops that will give you how you exactly do a risk assessment, how you exactly do BCP, and so on. All right. Okay, so far that's all for my very short presentation today. I will hand it back over to Mr. Nai.
Thank you, Mr. Ivan, for your time, and hope that everyone benefit from the talks, and I hope that everyone will understand what BCM and BCP, which is a business continuity plan that you might have. Okay, I will end this webinar with this quote. You can't predict the next crisis, but you can be prepared for it. So BCM is something that you might seriously want to think of because, like I say, when the next pandemic comes or any disaster that hits you, are you well prepared? That is the questions that we have to ask ourselves. So by having it, thank you everyone for the participation, and I hope you can join us in our next webinar. We will be conducting webinar and we will send to you our next webinar, but mainly on HR and some of the necessity skills that you might need for running your business. So hopefully you can attend our next webinar. Okay, thank you very much for participating, and hope you have a good time and knowing that. Thanks for sharing. Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
If you have any question, you can actually look for us. That's our contact number. Thank you very much.